What's up, guys? Topherocks here, and welcome to a franchise tips video on MLB 12 The Show. And this is strictly if you build your team by fantasy draft. And I'm just going to start off here by showing you guys my team. Pretty beastly team that I've built. I think I got Wainwright in a trade and maybe a couple relief pitchers in a trade. But other than that, I drafted this entire team, and you can really draft some awesome teams through the fantasy draft, especially if you get the updated rosters, because there tends to be, they put better players in the game from the original rosters that they came out with back in March. So make sure you get the updated rosters for the fantasy drafts if you do that for franchise mode like I do. But as you can see here, my shortstops suck, my left fielders suck, my right fielders suck, and my closers suck. And that's because I change all their positions. And there's Mike Stanton. He's a absolute beast on this game. You have to get him if you guys do a fantasy draft. But the reason I do that is because, as you'll see with my training assignments, you can really stack up and work on a lot more stuff on a lot fewer positions. So, for certain guys, they can go up a lot because you're working on almost everything instead of just working on just a couple of things for every position. And that makes a huge difference. And really, franchise is all about progression. And you want to get A and B potential players. That's basically the biggest thing, because they'll go up the fastest and they'll go up the most. And that makes a world of difference. And if you set up your training assignments, your guys will become beasts. A lot of people probably forget about this feature and let the computer do it, and they'll work on just goofy things like bunting drills. Who cares about that stuff? But if you set it up the way I have it, I guarantee your players will get a lot better if they're A or B potential players. If they're C, D, or F potential players, they're really not going to go up too much. Here's my scouting focus, and this is for the June draft that comes up, and here's my scouts as well. This is the rehab. Make sure this is up, because this will really limit the injuries. I mean, guys are going to get hurt regardless if you keep the injuries on, but it definitely helps. Here's my scouts here. I definitely always make sure I have the best scouts, because that definitely helps in the June draft to see more guys' scouting reports. Here's my team here. This way I have my lineup set up. I try not to stack my lefties too much, because you don't want a lefty reliever coming in and facing 3 or 4 lefties in a row or anything like that. You want to try and mix it up and keep it left to right as much as you can. But as you can see, I really have a solid young team, very young team really. Miguel Cabrera is probably my oldest position player, I would say, but he's a beast on this game. But make sure you get Mike Stanton. I just have to make that a point of this video, because he's just an absolute beast on this game. My guys are not that great right now, because this is, I think, the first or second season of this franchise, pretty early on here. But here's my pitching staff as well. And I always get A pitchers and put them in my rotation if I can. There's some B pitchers that become pretty good, but you want to try and stick with A's, especially for your starters and some of your high leverage relievers. But as you can see here, we're in first place. We're not hitting too well right now. As you can see, the Yankees are outscoring us by a lot, but overall the team's pretty solid, and they'll start hitting, I'm sure. Probably the big things that I just want to make a point of, and I'm going to show you here my settings for franchise here. Definitely get young players. Look for A and B potential players, because that makes a huge difference, especially when the guys get into their late 20s and 30s. They just become absolute beasts. And if you guys do this stuff, I guarantee you'll see results, and you'll see your players getting better, your teams getting better. You'll see them win some World Series and stuff, which is always great. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips. Hope you use them, and we'll talk to you guys later. All right, see ya.